Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another webinar from A Place in the Sun as part of our month-long digital event running throughout September. My name is Andy Bridge, but nobody really cares apart from my mum. Let's move on to the stars of this webinar, Sue and Mike Bloomfield, and of course, the wonderful Jasmine Harman. Good morning, Jasmine.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Great, thank you.
You're just back from Cyprus, I believe, filming. How was that? I saw on Instagram you said you were you glowing or were you sweating?
It was a little bit warm, to be fair.
What temperature did they have out there?
I think it was basically every day was probably in the late 30s, early 40s. Funny enough, not as hot as when we were in France for 3 weeks before we went to Cyprus, where it got up to 48 one day. It was a bit of a heat wave there, but it was pretty hot weather to be working out in the sun in trying to look glamorous and you know, failing.
And how did the filming go?
It was great. I was working, so we went back to filming at the beginning of the school summer holidays. So I managed to squeeze in a whole 6 weeks block because I took the children with me, and 3 weeks in France, and then we left France and we went to Cyprus for the final 3 weeks. So out of 6 shows, everyone found their perfect property. So everyone bought somewhere. So it was so rewarding, and it just makes it all worthwhile when you know that you've worked really hard. Everyone, the whole team has worked really hard and found the perfect property for our house hunters. So 100%.
That's remarkable. 6 from 6. What a record.
Yeah, amazing. It was really, really great.
Bragging rights over other presenters for that one, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yes. I don't know about the others, but I was happy.
And we're all terribly excited about this because you get asked lots of times about doing revisited, reunited, what happened next type TV programs. Obviously, this is not a Channel 4 TV show. It's a webinar that we're doing, but the idea is there. People have a real desire to find out what happened next, don't they?
Exactly. And it's so, you know, it's been probably the second most asked question that I get after where should I buy? And everyone wants to know, everyone wants to catch up and revisit. And so maybe one day we'll do that show. It would be really nice. I think it would, you know, it sort of, it's such a feel good thing when people do actually make an offer and make their dreams come true. So it's wonderful to be able to catch up with Sue and Mike, because theirs was one of my absolute favorite shows of all time.
Sue and Mike, favorite show. I mean, she does say that to everybody, let's be fair, but
no, she doesn't.
No, it was one of my top, I'd say it's definitely up there in my top 5.
So Sue and Mike, let's say hello to you. How are you both doing?
We're doing great,
doing
thank
fantastic.
you. Good morning, bon
Fantastic.
dia, from the gorgeous Algarve.
Yeah, you look pretty stressed.
Yeah.
It's tough, but someone's got to do it, you know.
So just set the scene for us. We're going to watch some clips from the program from 3 years ago, but just set the scene. Where were you at in your life at that point, and what was the driver to apply to go on A Place in the Sun?
I think that the biggest driver for us was Mike's impending retirement from the fire service, and you know, it's such a busy, demanding job that he had, and anytime he wasn't in work, i.e. if he was on holiday or leave, he would just be this nuisance around the house. And our daughters were saying, what is my dad going to do when he retires? It's just going to be impossible. So we were kind of
Still am.
but so we really, that was the real driving force, was, you know, what are we going to do when we retire? And obviously our love was here in the Algarve, and we just felt that having that additional property out here that we could visit whenever we wanted would be a great solution for us.
At that time, you were in the police force, is that right? So were you both approaching retirement?
Yeah, so Matt, I think we applied for the show
January.
In the January, as Mike retired in the December, but I wasn't due to retire until the following year. So yeah, I mean, it was impending, so it was on our minds. But yeah, I had an additional 12 months to do on Mike. But yeah, it gave him time to go out here and do a bit of bits and bobs around the place.
Yeah.
And being a well-connected and happily married couple, you checked everything out with Mike first before you applied to go on the TV show, I guess?
Not really, no.
No, I did it on a whim. I was working from home one day. I watched the programme and I just thought, you know what? What's not to love about that? I'm gonna apply for it. So I applied online. I got a phone call a couple of weeks later, asking me more questions. Then another phone call. I still hadn't mentioned it to Mike at this time, just hadn't discussed it at all. And then we'd planned a holiday to Dubai, actually. And the programme contacted me and said, you know, we need to do a Skype call with both of you. Oh, I better tell him then. So I just said, you know, we're going on holiday next week. Well, one of the days we're doing a Skype call with a place in the sun. He was like, what? And I said, you know, let's see how it goes. You know, I doubt whether we'll get on. It was just, you know, I don't know what the process is and what the criteria is, but, you know, I've applied and I've had a phone call and it just went from there. You know, it just grew arms and legs, and before we knew it, we were out here buying and
It was April, wasn't it, when we actually came out with the show?
So yeah, I mean, by the time I'd kind of told Mike I'd applied for it, we were, I guess, quite a way down the line in terms of getting on the show. So
and that's your Jasmine, that's your colleagues in the research team. So they interview couples. Typically, they do them at our exhibitions. They do screen tests with people. You can also apply on placeinthesun.com. That's the research guys who get people like Sue and Mike lined up for you to do the episodes. And you've done quite a few episodes. How many episodes have you done?
Or two. I think I'm up to 366 episodes of A Place in the Sun now.
Wow.
That's a
lot of properties.
It is, and it's a lot of, you know, happy house hunters for the most part, and a lot of dreams coming true. So it's a real privilege for me to be part of that process for everybody. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure anyone who watches the show knows that, you know, I'm usually the one that's in tears when they get their dream home, and so it's wonderful. It's brilliant. I absolutely love my job. I'm so lucky.
Yeah, we had a quiz about the history of A Place in the Sun as part of this digital event last Friday, and one of the questions was how many episodes had there been, and I think there's almost 1,700 now. So you're responsible for getting on for 25% of the output of the whole series. That's incredible.
That's amazing. Gosh.
And that never gets boring, that kind of that reaction you see from people, which we're going to see in a moment, from people like Sue and Mike when they see the one.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. So, you know, I often say you can never second guess what house hunters are going to say when you show them something. But, you know, when I see their reactions, I usually get quite a gut instinct about whether or not it's going to be right. And also knowing what else we've got lined up for them, because we keep it all a secret until we're actually filming. So we don't let them know where they're going or what they're going to see or anything at all. We make them close their eyes before we let them out of the car. So it's all a surprise for them.
Is Jet feeling a bit hungry?
I'm going to go and close the door because my neighbour's dogs are barking.
Okay,
Just
let's set the scene for this episode of A Place in the Sun, and this is what happened at the start of the show.
I met Sue and Mike on Praia Beach at Albufeira to find out exactly what they're looking for. So welcome to the Algarve. Welcome back, should I say?
We just love it. Just think it's a fabulous place. Beaches, the weather, obviously, the food.
The nightlife.
I come here every year with my girlfriends as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Regular.
Always have a great time here.
What sort of things do you girls get up to?
A lot of sunbathing, discovering new restaurants and the nightlife is just fab as well.
And what do you enjoy doing on holiday out here?
To come out here now, it will be doing new things, taking up golf. That's one of the things that I intend to do.
But if you've got a place here, do you think you'll both come out here more frequently then?
Instead of just having a 1 week or 2 week, it will be a couple of months at a time.
What about the children and the rest of the family? Will everyone be out visiting you?
You know, we've got 3 daughters, a grandson, and they will love to come out.
The opportunity will be there for them. If we're not here, they'll be coming out and using the place.
So how's the golf game, Mike?
I've been out once. I didn't do very well.
Is it fair to say you've taken to retirement quite well then, in terms of relaxing and switching off?
Oh, we have, definitely. We have relaxed. It's more beach and just chilling out and going to local bars or restaurants and just just staying around the pool here. It's
I'll tell you what you didn't mention on the show, and he brought his push bike out, and so we got 2 push bikes here, and you know, I would never bike ride back home, but we do lots of bike riding out here, which is great. So
rather than keep taking the car to the beach, we'll pedal it to the beach, and then, you know, just.
And how far are you from the beach?
It's about 3 miles. 3 miles to the local beach, which is just near Quatera, so it's not that far. And
Jasmine, no hills. That's good. So Jasmine, when you first met Sue and Mike, what did you think? I mean, do you get a feel for people as to how committed they are and their priorities? You meet them on the Sunday, is that right? Before the week's filming starts on the Monday?
Exactly, yeah. But obviously before that, we've had all of their brief, as in what they're looking for and all their information. So we know everything from sort of inside leg measurement, bra size. You know, we've got all the details on everything that they want beforehand, which obviously helps us do all the researching on the properties, and we go out looking for properties before we meet on the Sunday. But then on the Sunday we meet before starting filming on the Monday morning. And well, when I first met them, I just thought they were such a lovely couple. And, you know, most of the people we have coming on the show are genuinely lovely people, because the casting team do a really good job of making sure that everybody's, you know, genuine buyers, that they're not just sort of time wasters. And anyone who comes on the show thinking they're getting a free holiday anyway is very sorely mistaken, because it's quite hard work, and there's a lot of waiting around and standing around in the sun, and it's hot. But meeting Sue and Mike, you know, I knew, and especially because I had lived on the Algarve myself for 4 years nearly, you know, I could relate to everything that they were saying that they'd fallen in love with about the Algarve, you know, why they wanted to be there, the places that they liked. There were, you know, lots of them were places that I knew already, so I could really connect with them on that.
And Sue, just remind us of what your criteria were at the time in terms of budget, bedrooms, etc.
Yeah, so our budget originally was £150,000. In terms of bedrooms, I wasn't bothered about the amount of bedrooms. What I really wanted was something very traditional. I wanted my own front door, so my own entrance and exit. I didn't want to be sharing that with anybody. We didn't really want an apartment because we knew that we'd use it for home rather than holidaying. So it's okay when you go for a week or 2 weeks when you've got somebody above you or below you or either side of you. But you know, when you're staying somewhere for a month, you want it to feel a lot more kind of your own, in your own personal space. So I was quite keen to have something that that I had my own entrance and exit, that didn't interfere with everybody else. And the other thing we were trying to get as well was to keep sort of monthly fees down. So with a lot of apartments, etc., with management fees, they're always kind of hidden, and we wanted to keep those monthly fees down as much as possible. Yeah, I mean, in terms of location, you know, I was very kind of blinkered because I'd only been to the resorts, if you like. You know, I'd only been to Albufeira, to Villamora, so I only really knew the holiday resort type places. And what A Place in the Sun gave us was a real kind of opening up of actually there are much nicer places that are just off the beaten track, that aren't that far away, and that you can enjoy those resorts just as much, you know, just a small distance away. So that for me was fantastic, because I think you do go into this thinking, you know, I want to be where all the nightlife is. I want to be right on the beach and the doorstep. But actually you don't want that.
You want to be, well, we're about 3 or 4 miles away from where the nightlife is and the tourism is. We're just in a little hamlet, really, aren't we?
But so if we want to enjoy that part of the time we're out here, then it's really easy and really accessible for us. But you know, the rest of the time, it's our home, and it's private, and it's fantastic. It's just the best thing ever. It really is.
It's interesting.
And do you recall? Sorry, Jasmine, go ahead.
Remember, you were really you'd stayed in an apartment right in the old town in Albufeira.
Yeah.
And you were really fixed on that location, and there was one property that you'd seen online. Do you remember? And
Yes.
forgotten about it, but there was one property you'd seen online which we had seen, but it wasn't all it was cracked up to be online, and we didn't want to show it to you. But I was thinking, if we don't show it to them, they've seen it online, they're going to think that we haven't found the best that, you know. So, because the place, I mean, it was just, it was a nice little place, but the location was absolutely horrible. It was all surrounded by
derelict houses all around.
Yeah, there was derelict. Yeah,
it was, you know, the things that you don't see on the internet. So it was really great that you were open to looking at different areas. And, you know, when I lived in Portugal, I lived right next to Almansil. In fact, I lived in Loule, which is just outside Almansil, and so I knew that area really well, and I was really keen to show you this one that you're sat in now. So
my goodness.
Right, well, let's take a look at that. Do you recall what number property it was, Sue?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Number 3 is a lucky number, isn't it, Jasmine? It's often number 3.
It varies, you know. Sometimes we don't know. We never know what house hunters are going to choose.
Okay, well, let's see the moment that Sue, at least, falls in love.
No, you said you wanted something a bit more traditional, not on a complex.
I want to cry.
You're going to make me cry, Dave.
Yeah, looks good.
I love it.
What's going on in there? Have you ever seen this?
No,
Speechless,
I wasn't
Sue?
even expecting this. No, wasn't expecting it at all.
Sue,
Just standing here, though, it's perfect.
this is that dream.
Jasmine, are you controlling your emotions this morning, or are you welling up? I've watched it so many times, and it gets me every time. Hairs on the back of the neck moment, isn't it?
That was before we came inside as well, so I mean,
He's gone.
Honestly,
Actually, it was edited, because when we came inside, I went and I was full on emotion.
Is that right?
Yeah, it all got edited. Thank God.
It's good to know that a lifelong Manchester fireman can access his emotional side and get overtaken by the splendour of a building they're going to buy. That's lovely.
It was a really special moment, and it's a really special place. I'm so happy for you guys that you went for it, because if you hadn't have gone for it, I would have gone for it myself.
There's quite a few people who said that, haven't they, that they would like to bought the property, and I believe, Sue, you've had approaches even since you bought it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think even when we were on the show, we were aware that somebody put an offer in. After we put our offer in, it had been accepted, and it was a higher offer. But the lovely guy, Steve, I know he's watching today, so give him a mention. But he turned it down because he promised it to us. You know, he was a real gentleman about it. But yeah, he was a guy that lived in the UK. The property was not with an estate agent. It was advertised online. So again, we would never have found it, because your instinct is to just go to an estate agent, and you know, it was advertised separately. But your researchers did such a fantastic job. They found it.
Never found it without them.
Yeah, so, but
Because
you
it
know,
was
most people that
sale,
come,
wasn't it?
yeah,
definitely.
And that's I mean, that is part of the amazing service, I suppose, that we provide on the show. Is that
absolutely.
we're able to scour the entire market, and sometimes our teams who are out on the ground might be, you know, having lunch or something, and they'll talk to somebody and find out about a property that's for sale, and go, you know, just because they're sort of doing it full time for a couple of weeks before we even start filming. So no, it was a really great find.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah,
Well,
without a doubt.
it's great that we've got Steve on board, who was the vendor, and talking about the offer and the purchase. Let's watch that moment.
Oh. You're getting my nerves going now.
They really, really love it. They felt very, very emotionally connected to it, and they would like to make an offer on it. They'd like to offer £151,000. How does that sound? Okay, thank you. He's accepted it.
Thank you. That's lovely. Can't believe
Thank
it.
you so much.
No quibbling.
Wow.
Nothing. And that is the beauty of having a private sale, is that is straight from the horse's mouth.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Brilliant.
that's amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe it.
Oh, wow.
Let's not go to Jasmine and put Jasmine on the spot. But obviously that's all legitimate. It's filmed. That's the vendor on the other side of the phone. It's a genuine offer, and it's all live and direct. That's amazing.
Yeah, we had
And
no
people,
idea.
again, and people don't realise that. They think it's all scripted. They think that, you know, you have take, and
It's
you know,
not acting. It'd become acting then if we knew, but there's nothing.
It really was all from the heart, and you know, it was all instinctive. That everything you see, and yeah, it was all live. So amazing.
Jasmine, have you recovered enough for me to turn to you?
Just about. Honestly, every week I'm like this. I'm so happy for you guys, and so happy for all of our house hunters who find a place, because it is such a life enriching thing to do, you know, to have a home overseas, and you know, to find somewhere that really speaks to you and you connect with it. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm very, very, oh, what am I like? I don't even know what.
But it's wonderful. I mean, to have that job, making people's dreams literally come true. It's no wonder that it's overwhelming like that, because these are life-changing decisions, aren't they, Sue and Mike? It's
definitely.
And you know, you don't make them lightly. There's a lot of money involved, obviously, and a lot of the unknown as well. You know, you are kind of a little bit scared, because you just don't know what to expect, and it's out of your control because it's in another country. You know, even buying a property in your own, you know, in the UK is stressful enough because of the lack of control. So there's a whole host of things that worry you.
I have to say, it was a lot easier.
It was a lot easier to buy
with regard to
here.
solicitors and everything.
Just talk us through the process and the timeline from that moment to you completing and getting the keys to your property.
Right, so that
filmed in April.
That was filmed end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah.
We completed in July, but actually we could have completed in June. We were just hoping for another salary into the bank to pay it off. I'm not gonna lie. So so we completed in the July. We got the keys. We were out here in the July, and it was actually aired. It was actually aired the first week.
First week I was here with my daughter, and we actually watched the show while we was here.
Yeah, so that was lovely as well.
And how much time are you spending there now? How often do you get out to the property, and what sort of periods do you go out for?
Well, apart from this year, because obviously the lockdown, but it was becoming half and half.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, but
half a year out here. You know, you come for a month, home for a month, back for a month, and then the girls would come out. So it was getting used.
The thing was as well for us, I mean, flight prices were so cheap. I mean, we've been able to get flights for £30 each way. You know, I think my cheapest flight was £16. So we're able and really lucky to just say, right, when's the cheapest flight? So we go on a Wednesday and we come back 4 weeks later on a Friday. It doesn't matter to us. So we were just going for the cheapest flight deals. And I mean, and if that changes, then we will probably spend longer periods out here. So maybe 3 or 4 months at a time, rather than a month at home, a month here, a month and so on. But
We've got the camper on.
I mean, the lockdown came and we had a couple of flights cancelled. So we ended up buying a camper van. So we said, we're not going to stop us getting out here. So we've drove over here. And as soon as they opened the borders on the 1st of July, we were coming over the bridge from Seville over to the Algarve, and yeah, we've got the camper van here now, so we're able to A, explore Portugal more, and B, we're able to come and go as we please, kind of thing.
So there's no stopping you. You were right there knocking on the border on the day they opened up.
Absolutely, absolutely. We timed it to perfection. We were watching our phones, making sure it opened, and yeah, it opened on the 1st of July, and we were in here. So, and we got that fit. Honestly, when we came that day, that 1st of July, It was like the show. Honestly, walking through the door again.
We had Stevie Wonder, A Place in the Sun, as we was coming over the bridge,
playing on the playlist. Yeah, that's my favourite tune now. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic! So I know you're very kindly offered to show us around your property, which is wonderful. People, I think, will remember the program. It's such a great episode, but might not remember everything about the property itself. So if you want to go and position yourself back where you had your little moment out in front of the property, and then we'll join you in a minute or two. That'd be great. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
Wow, Jasmine, what a great couple, and what a great story. I'm not surprised it overwhelms you. It really is. It really is wonderful.
It is amazing, and I'm slightly crying because of selfish reasons. It was such a nice place, and it was right near to the area where I used to live, and I just thought, this is perfect. This is perfect for me if they don't buy it. So I'm so happy for them. It was just, you know, it's meant to be, and quite often that happens when, you know, for whatever reason, it might be in an area that they've not looked at before, which was the case for Sue and Mike, or it might be a type of property that they hadn't thought about, but something about it, you know, it might have a bit more work to do than they had hoped. Something about it would just, you know, connect, and that's what happened with in this case. It was amazing.
Right. And how long did you spend out in Portugal, and when was that?
Oh, when I was, it was let me think. I went out in 2000, beginning of 2000. I came back towards the end of 2003. So I was there for nearly 4 years in the end. And I was working in Val de Lobo on the Algarve. And I lived outside Almansil, which is a little town. It's really nice. I was in a little place called Loule, which doesn't have.
That's where our local bar is, Jasmine.
Oh really?
Yeah, Mike watches the football in Casa all the time.
It's someone you used to work with, Mark Sebastian.
Oh yeah, I know Mark. I used to work with him at the radio station, Kiss FM Algarve. Oh, how funny! I will say hello to him.
I will do, yeah, definitely.
And are you a red or a blue, Mike?
Oh, red, definitely.
Oh dear. Well, as a Liverpool fan, I won't sound too smug, but we'll move on. Do you want to flip that camera around, Sue, and just point it the other direction? Okay. Right. So,
well, we changed the sign, Jasmine. I think you remember it was Casa Julia up there, but now it's Casa Bloomfield down here. But yeah, when I first saw it, I just knew it was everything that I had in my mind's eye, and I think I said when I was stood here, it's just standing here, but it's so peaceful. You know, we've got the orange groves just across the way here, and it's just everything that I wanted in terms of being peaceful, that traditional look about it, and then it just gets better and better. You know, it was the place that just keeps giving you more. It was giving and giving all the time. So there's Mike's fire helmet with his cactuses in.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, as we walked through this door and came into the courtyard,
Look at that.
it was just absolutely fantastic. And the fact that we had our own pool, I mean, never expected that, but wow, what a bonus that was.
I know everything about pools now.
Yes, Mike's the expert on pools, but there used to be a hot tub here, but we didn't want a hot tub, so we've just put that as a seating area.
Oh, it looks lovely.
And our lovely palm tree.
Palm tree, I remember that tree.
I've been up a few times.
And it's a shame you can't see it at night because it's all lit up at night, and the lighting is amazing on it. But I tell you what, a lot of people asked us what this area was here. So we've got a garage here, and this is just a door to the driveway. But it's really good because it's made Mike tidy the garage, because I told him I was going to show everybody it. But I mean, even the garage is a great size.
Yeah, good job on the tidying, Mike.
The golf clubs are there.
There's the golf clubs with the
They look dusty.
I've dusted them down.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great size garage. We've got our washing machine in there, and then we come into the...
It's like a courtyard, like a walled garden, but
exactly, yeah. So it's really private.
In with a courtyard garden, but because you've got so much space around the pool, you know, I think it's just feels lovely and private.
Definitely.
And is that a barbecue area towards the back? That's fairly typical of Portugal properties, isn't it? Just to have a built-in barbecue somewhere.
Yeah, it is, and we've actually, Mike's tiled the top of this, but the original house name, which was Casa Julia, is now tiled into the barbecue, so it's not been lost.
Wonderful.
But yeah, we use that an awful lot, and we've got an open fire, so our logs are there, ready for the winter. Not that you need it that much, to be honest, because the weather's always beautiful. And everyone that comes everyone that visits us gets their name in lights. And I don't know if you can see this, but we've put you up there, a place in the sun.
Oh,
it's just not lit up because it's just not lit up because obviously it's daytime. But yeah, everyone who visits us gets their name up there in lights. So it's had a few in there.
Have you become terribly popular with friends wanting to come out
Absolutely.
And stay and visit?
Yeah. And to be honest, when a lot of people come and visit, they're on holiday. We insist they call and see us because we like to show it off anyway. So into the living area, so the kitchen area. And again, we just kept it all very traditional. You know, we didn't want to spoil that traditional feel for it, but you know, the kitchen sink, that's my view, so I can't complain. I don't mind being at the kitchen sink so much. And then we have just got a small seating area, but it's got this amazing fireplace. Now I'm going to try and get the best view of this fireplace for you. But
that's very grand.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. And again, when that's on and it's lit up, it's just so cozy. But these lovely high ceilings that go, and they're all exposed. And then this is the mezzanine area that you get to via the spiral staircase.
How do you use the mezzanine? Do you ever use it as like an occasional bedroom or?
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 single beds up there now.
Oh, perfect.
And there was a time when certainly my middle daughter brought half the netball team out with her. So they've all been slept in. They've definitely all been slept in. Oh, there you go. Pride of place on our wall.
Oh yeah. Oh, so nice. Karina and John and Nick.
Yeah.
And us.
So this is the second bedroom. This isn't our bedroom, but this originally just had 2 single beds in it, but now we've been able to put a double bed and a single bed in it. But again, these lovely exposed ceilings, and it's just makes it all very cool and fresh and airy. It's just beautiful.
It looks amazing.
You've really had a good tidy, Sue, since you last showed me around.
Hey now. This is our bedroom. So again, just kept it all very traditional. Lovely exposed ceilings. And you know what? We've got a little double wardrobe and a few drawers, but that's all we need. You know, it's how many bikinis can you wear? You know.
The height of the rooms is amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic, fantastic. And then the bathroom area is just a walk-in shower, but it's very, very spacious.
Did you need to redo that, or is that as when you brought it?
No, it was all tiled anyway. The only thing that Mike's done is put the shower screen up there rather than have a curtain, and just no, there's no real big structural work that's had to be done. Just licks of paint here and there, and yeah, I mean, I just love all these traditional, you know, even that at the back of the cooker, you know, I didn't want to spoil that. I just love that, those lovely tiles there, the splashback for the cooker, and the tiled floor, all of those things, and all these little shutters. They're the things I just fell in love with, and I'm still in love with. So yeah, we love it. Have you seen it off? Can you?
Yeah, that's fantastic. If you want to spin it back round, and we'll just pop back outside and have a bit more of a chat, and then finish up. But thank you very much for letting us invade your privacy and be show around. What a great property to find for someone, Jasmine, because it really did need nothing doing, did it?
Oh, and do you know what's so appealed to me about that place was that it had all this lovely traditional charm and character, but it wasn't dilapidated. It didn't need any work. You know, it had all the mod cons as well. So you know, you had the pool there, your own private pool. You know, you had everything that you would possibly need, but you had the nice touches of having, you know, the beautiful fireplace. You know, you had the extra space on the mezzanine, which could be used, you know, for whatever you wanted. I just, you know, it's a very rare combination to get something that has maintained the authentic traditional features, but also has all the modern, you know, facilities that you need for day-to-day life, without needing to do any real major work. So it was a really great find.
Yeah. And the location as well, Jasmine. You know, I think there was a bit of uncertainty about where it was, and I can remember you guys saying, you know, it's a little bit out. How do you feel about it? And you know, we said right from the outset we were quite happy to commute, you know, to go somewhere where it's busy, and you know what, it is the nicest area, honestly. You know, you can go to the Quinta de la, you know, the big plush. This is such a beautiful area,
and we've got great neighbours as well.
Yeah. It's just beautiful. It's quiet, it's off the beaten track, but it's not too far away. It's absolutely, and honestly, I'm sure it's tripled in value, this property, because it really is fantastic. Yeah.
And are your neighbours Portuguese or international owners?
She's Portuguese and her husband's Dutch, but yeah, we get on really well. I do a lot of work for them, and they help me with the pool. He taught me how to clean the pool and maintain it. So I go around and do bits for him, bit of handyman stuff for him.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, we've often, you know, she's Portuguese, and she's taught me how to make all the traditional Portuguese dishes, and we've been there for lunch, and never go round without a glass of wine and a beer. And they had a horse and a goat and dogs, and they're just lovely people, and it's helped us really kind of appreciate the area as well as settle in. So no, it's been amazing.
And just on the pool and generally with utilities and costs like that, is it fair to say that running costs are a lot significantly cheaper than in the UK for water and electric? And
electricity isn't. I have to say, electricity isn't. Water's probably on a par. We have a gas bottle that's renewed very rarely, once every couple of years, if that. Yeah. Electricity is that bit more expensive, but there's not that much that uses electricity anyway.
It's only the pool, really.
It's only really the pool. So, you know, and that's the other thing, when you buy a property out here, your solicitor sets up all your direct debits, you don't have to worry about that. So those utilities are all kind of taken care of. As long as you put the money in, it's
a one-stop shop.
It is. It's great. So, no complaints whatsoever. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing I could say is a negative about it. Really isn't.
And you spend most of your time outside, I guess, anyway.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That was it, and that's exactly what we wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We wanted more outside living, and well, we've got it. Absolutely.
We were in the pool last night at 11 o'clock, and we'll be back in the pool again when we come off here.
We'll leave you alone before you do that bit. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it, Jasmine?
Oh, it's absolutely great. It's so great to catch up with you guys and to see, you know, how happy you are there, because, you know, for me, and also for everybody who watches A Place in the Sun on television, you know, it just kind of validates everything that we do, to see, you know, the benefits of it, and to see how your life has changed so much, being able to go out to your own place on the Algarve. So I'm so happy.
Amazing. Nobody, we never worry about quarantine. Definitely never worry about quarantine. We're not worried about air bridges. We're overcoming anything that the government try and put in our way. So yeah, there's nothing will stop us getting here. Nothing.
Well, what a wonderful story. And I've really enjoyed seeing you two, well, Mike and Sue and Jasmine, kind of reunited through this medium, and having a tour around that wonderful property of yours. We're all absolutely delighted for you. So pleased it worked out. I guess you feel the same, Jasmine?
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, we can't thank you enough.
Oh, well, it's our pleasure, and it's great. And we've got a team out in Portugal at the moment as well, so you might see them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not doing Portugal this time. I'm off to Italy next week.
Right.
But I think we've got a team out there right now, so.
Wow. Right, we'll keep our eyes out for them.
Your eyes peeled.
Yep, will do.
Okay, everyone. Well, thank you all for your time this morning. It's been hugely enjoyable. Enjoy your weekend, Mike and Sue. Get in that pool.
Yeah.
And Jasmine, your weekend plans? What are you up to? Anything exciting, or is it children time?
Well, no, we're actually meeting up with family before Monday, so that we don't. My mum's birthday next week, so we've moved her family get together to this weekend instead, so that we don't, so that we can stay within the rules. So.
Great. Well, thank you everybody out there for joining this session. We have a French property masterclass kicking off at midday. We have 6 back-to-back webinars on buying and owning in France this afternoon, and tomorrow we have our Portugal property masterclass, which is 7 back-to-back webinars on mortgage availability, the legal process, healthcare, retirement, relocation, all those sorts of issues about buying and owning a property in Portugal. So if it's France that you're interested in, it's this afternoon. If it is Portugal you're interested in, it's tomorrow. And head along to the website you can see in the frame here, aplaceinthesundigital.co.uk, and you can register for free for any or all of those webinars. So thanks again, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and goodbye.
Bye.
Stay safe.